Okay guys, so today I'm going to be showing you another really cool original trick, and once again I have Sam to help me out. So are you ready for this trick?
Let's go.
Let's go ahead and get right into it. So for this I'm just going to shuffle the cards, and I need you to go ahead and select any card. So hold out your index finger like so, and go ahead and touch any card that you wish. This one right here, you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to show you the card that you touched right here. Take a look, remember that card the best that you can. We'll just go ahead, leave it somewhere in the pack, just like so, okay. Now, the only thing I want you to do is I just want you to keep track of where your card is at all times,
Okay.
even as I'm shuffling. Very, very simple task, right?
Sure.
Okay, well, it might not be that easy, but just, I want you to estimate roughly where it might be. Okay. So what I want you to do is pull out maybe a small chunk of cards, maybe 10 to 15 cards, wherever you think your card might be though, because I want you to get a wide range of options. So maybe right there, is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll spread these out over here.
Yeah.
And can you actually take the rest of the deck? Yeah. And I want you to go ahead and give it a cut. And then, yeah, place the other half on top sideways, just so that we can mark the spot where we cut. Okay, we'll get back to that later, okay? So you pulled out these cards from the deck, right? You could have been anywhere else, but you decided on these cards over here. Now, I'm gonna show you all the faces of these cards, and I just want you to keep track if your card is in here or not, okay? If you see your card, don't say anything, but we'll just go through here and we'll take a look, okay? So we have one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards, okay? So did you see your card in here at all?
No.
No, okay, so we'll just go ahead and we'll take these cards. Place them inside the box, which is empty, by the way. You can see, right? Okay, place these in the box for now. So maybe you cut to your card over here. That would be kind of cool. So take a look at the card that you cut to right over here. See if it's your card, is it?
Nope.
5 of spades, no, okay. Well, I don't think this card's meaningless. I think it means something. So maybe it's an indicator card, which means maybe your card is 5 cards down in the deck. That would be kind of cool, right? If it was, because you did cut to that card at random. But let's take it up another level. I think what we can do to make this more impossible is, what if your card was 5 cards down in the deck that I haven't touched? That's in the box.
Impossible.
That would be kind of impossible, wouldn't it?
Indeed.
And remember, you looked through all these cards. You didn't see it, didn't there, right?
No.
So, how many were in here? I believe there were 8, I think. Okay, well, let's check. If we snap our fingers, we take the cards out. Let's go ahead and count exactly how many cards we have now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It seems that 1 has now been added to the pile. And of course, we have this indicator card telling us to look at the 5th card down in this pile. So we look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's the 5th card. And then here we have 6, 7, 8, 9. And once again, these are not your cards, right? These are the cards you already saw.
Yeah.
Because this card has now been added to the pile, and it is none other than the Jack of Diamonds. And that's your card. So that's the trick, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. Alright guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. So this is actually a really great impromptu trick that you can just pull out at any time. You could do it with a borrowed deck of cards. All you need is a deck of cards and the card box, and then you're ready to go. So the first step to this impromptu trick is you have the spectator shuffle the cards, or you can shuffle the cards. It doesn't matter what you want to do. Now you're going to spread through the cards here, showing the spectator that all the cards are different. And what you're going to do is look for any 5. So right here, I just found a 5. When you find that card, just take it and cut it to the top, just casually. And you can just keep spreading through the cards, showing the spectator that all the cards are different. You can even give the cards another shuffle afterwards, but now all you want to do is keep that 5 on top. So that's really the only setup that you have to do. So once that card is controlled to the top, you can have the spectator select any card in the center of the pack. So I did this by having the spectator point to any card, and then I did a nice spread cull control. So I took the card that they touched, this one right over here, and I put it underneath the card right above it, just like so. And then I showed them the card just like this, which is the 6 of hearts. But of course, these are 2 cards next to each other. And then what I did as I lowered my hand down is I did the cull, which is you pull the card in just like so as you lower your hand down, and then the card that is out jogged right over here, this is actually not their selection. Their selection is now on the bottom of the pack, but it's actually the other red 6, which is kind of funny. That's just a coincidence, but this is their selection here now on the bottom. So now what you can do is you can shuffle the cards, but remember you do have this 5 on top and you do have their selection on the bottom. So what's the best kind of shuffle in order to keep those 2 cards in the same places? Well, you can do what's called an overhand shuffle, and you could do 2 of them to control them both in the same location. So you could do an overhand shuffle by peeling off 1 card and then shuffling a bunch of cards on top of it until you get to the end of the deck. Then you want to start going 1 by 1, and then you drop the last card on top. So essentially what that did is it brought the selection to the top and the 5 to the bottom. And now you're going to do that exact same thing again. So you're going to shuffle 1 card and then shuffle a bunch of cards on top. And then when you get to the end of the deck, you shuffle 1 at a time to bring the cards back to where they started. So now you have the 5 on top and the 6 on the bottom. And as you're doing this shuffle, you're going to explain to the spectator that you want them to try and just keep track of where their card is at all times when shuffling. And you kind of make a joke out of this. You say, oh, that's pretty easy to do, right? They'll be like, yeah, right. And it'll just be kind of a funny moment in your presentation. All you're doing is shuffling the cards, but keeping the top and bottom card. So at this point, you tell the spectator that you want them to guess where their card is in the pack. So what you're going to do is spread out a big chunk of cards, and you're going to have the spectator pull out any portion of cards that they want, just like so. So they can pull out maybe this many cards, set it down, and then what you're going to do is you're going to be spreading these cards out on the table face down, and then you're actually going to be handing over the rest of the cards to the spectator. But before you do, you actually want to take the bottom card here and get a thumb break on it, just like this. So I pull down the card with my pinky, and then I get a thumb break on that card. And this is because I'm going to be dropping this card on top of this pile as I square it up. So what I'm going to do is square up the cards and then drop that card on top, just like that. So it's completely invisible to the spectator. They will not see it coming, because at the same time what you're doing is you're actually handing the rest of the cards over to the spectator. So you're going to drop the card, just kind of do it close to the pile so they don't notice, but then hand the rest of the deck over to the spectator, and then just pick up these cards and hold on to them in your hand. And you're going to tell the spectator what you want them to do with the rest of the deck here that you just handed them is you want them to cut the cards anywhere in half and then place the other half on top diagonally, just like so, to mark the spot where they cut. What you're doing is you're doing a preparation for what's called the crisscross force. Well, you kind of just already done it, because this was the original top half of the deck. But later, using time misdirection, when you kind of step away from this for a bit, you're gonna move on to this pile and show them these cards. But when you come back a few minutes later, they're gonna forget which half was on top and which half was on bottom, and it's gonna look like that 5 was a completely free choice of a cut. But you will be forcing that card in just a moment. But now, step away from that, don't even mention that again. You're going to come back to the cards that they pulled out, that you're holding onto right now. So all you know is their selection is right here on top, and you don't even know how many cards they pulled out. You just know it's a small chunk. All you want to do is you're going to explain to the spectator that you want them to keep track if their card is in this pile or not. You're going to go through all the cards face up, and you're going to show the spectator all the faces and just ask them if they see their card or not. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be counting off how many cards are in the pile. So you're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through until you reach the end. But what you're going to be doing is you're going to be pulling down on the bottom card and catching a thumb break. And what you're going to do is you're going to secretly drop this bottom card, the 6 of hearts, into the 5th position as you count. So I'll show you what I mean a little bit more clearly here. I'm going to count 5 cards. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 cards into my hand. And right here, when I get to 5, I'm actually going to be coming over with my thumb to peel off this Jack of Hearts. But as I do, I'm first going to drop the 6 of Hearts. And now I'm going to peel off this card as 5. And then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards total right over here. The card has now been dropped into the 5th position. You've actually loaded that 6 of hearts, as you can see right here, into the 5th position, but you've done it secretly, and the spectator has not seen you do this. So now you flip the cards over and you ask the spectator, did you see your card in here at all? And they're gonna say no, they didn't. So you tell them, okay, we'll step away from these for a bit and we'll put these in the box for now. Show the spectator that the box is completely empty, and it genuinely is, there's nothing in here. So you're gonna place these cards, these supposedly 10 cards, in the box, just like this. And then you're gonna set these aside. So now you're gonna step away from this and come back to here. And this is why you do this before you do this. Since so much time has passed since they cut this deck over here, they're gonna forget which half was the top half and which half was the bottom half. So they're gonna remember it differently. You're gonna be planting a false memory in their head. And what you're gonna do is lift up the top half and say, let's just go ahead and take a look at the card you cut to. Maybe you cut to your card. They're gonna flip it over and they're gonna see this 5 here. Now you already knew this was gonna be the 5 because you just forced it on them, but you're just gonna act sort of disappointed, be like, oh, okay, well, that's not your card. However, maybe this is actually an indicator card. Maybe it means that your card is 5 cards down in the deck. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? And when you say this line, you wanna make sure you point to this deck over here because you want the spectator to think that you're talking about this deck. So wouldn't it be cool if the card was 5 cards down in the deck? It would be pretty cool, right? And they say, yeah, it would be. And you tell them, how about we actually take it up another level? And how about we make it 5 cards down in the deck that's over here in the box, the cards that I haven't touched? And they say, okay, yeah, that would be pretty amazing. And all you do is you snap your fingers and the trick is over because now it looks like pure magic. You take the cards out of the box and you remind the spectator that there were 10 cards here before, right? And they say yes, and now you're gonna spread the cards out and you're gonna count how many cards there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you explain that 1 card has now been added to the pile somehow. Then you pull off this 5 and say, now, this 5 is telling us to look at the 5th card down here. And I like to present it like this. I flip over every card except the 5th card. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th card I place over here next to the 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So I just remind them that their card was not in here before. They will confirm this, and then you ask them what the card was, they will say the 6 of hearts, and boom, there's the 6 of hearts right there in the 5th position. So yeah, that's the entire trick right there, and you end completely clean. There's nothing to find. It's just a crazy reveal. It's a really, really cool, hard-hitting trick, and I think it's a really awesome effect. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy this one. Go out, perform it, let me know how it goes, and yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.